14 million tons of agricultural products were sent from Ukraine thanks to the work of the Grain Initiative. The purpose of the agreement is to take out the accumulated Ukrainian grain and deliver it to consumers.
There is a format of cooperation with the UN, with Turkey, with other partners. As a result, there are two initiatives that remove the deficit from the world food market that arose due to the criminal Russian blockade of our ports. We have unblocked 3 Ukrainian ports. The results are obvious. Our Grain Export Initiative and the Grain from Ukraine Humanitarian Initiative are working together to solve the problem of global hunger.
After all, a full-scale Russian invasion in February led to a sharp decline in Ukrainian exports to the grain market. And as Bloomberg states, even reforming for supplies from other countries could not compensate for the loss of Ukrainian supplies. After all, according to the European Commission, Ukraine is one of the world's largest suppliers of agricultural products. It produces 10% of all wheat, 15% of corn and 13% of barley, and also half of all sunflower oil in the world. If Ukraine disappears from a number of exporters, then this will have serious consequences for global food security.
If we look with you at the price of wheat of these soft grades in January 2022, the price per metric ton of wheat was $325. Then in February, when the Russian war began, and already in April, we could see the price rise sharply to $446. A spike in prices caused food to become less affordable for the whole world, primarily in North Africa and the Middle East. Prices have risen, and what people in poor countries could afford to buy is no longer so easy to do.
The UN said that Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the occupation of Ukrainian territories and the destruction of crops as a result of rocket attacks by the Russian army could cause the 222 million people on the planet to likely face acute food shortages in 2023. And Ukraine is working to avoid this. Due to the Russian invasion, Ukrainian farmers have lost tens of billions of US dollars in profits. Despite this, the harvest was collected and prepared for shipment by the grain corridor.
Ukraine does its best, even in times of war, even if we have seriously disrupted logistics. And there are problems, for example, in the energy sector, due to constant shelling from the Russian Federation. Nevertheless, we ensure uninterrupted supplies of this grain and all the conditions for this to happen quickly enough, all the contracts signed to be fulfilled.
But the situation is worsened by the fact that Russia is sabotaging the grain agreement. In the Bosporus, 92 ships are awaiting inspection, and the queue continues to grow due to Russian restrictions on registration for inspection.
Russia has created a so-called bottleneck, that is, the need to inspect every ship in the Bosporus. We see that without Russia, this team of inspectors can conduct more than 40 ship inspections per day, but with Russia, only 8 inspections per day. If you look at how much grain we imported under the grain agreement, it was 3.5 million tons of grain and oilseeds in October, and it was already 2.3 million tons in November.
It is known that as of December the 17th, only 3 out of 65 declared ships were registered. Such sabotage by Russia leads to the restriction of the work of Ukrainian ports and under-export of at least 3 million tons of products per month. This, in turn, only worsens the food crisis in the world. Reported by Dana Kolesnik, Angelika Brushnevska, UATV News.